Is there, so, you know, for about 4 or 5 years during let's say, as sort of the rise of, as Al-Qaeda got broken up and ISIS formed, and there were all these sort of, there was this concern about radicalization of Muslims here in the United States, radicalization of economically challenged Muslims in the Middle East, and that they were very susceptible to the ISIS message or the Al-Qaeda message. It sounds like you were trying to sound the alarm here. Is there radicalization concerns is there a specific group we should be worried about today?
There certainly is. There's a wide variety of groups. When we look at domestic terrorism, we're talking about groups on the far fringes of the right, which are, you know, hate-based groups and anti-government groups. Then we have those on the far fringes of the left, like the anarchists and the Antifa that we have. There's also single-issue movements such as, you know, animal rights extremists and eco-terrorists and anti-abortion extremists. So we have a wide spectrum of groups and movements and individuals that radicalize here in the United States.
What are some of the tools to try to, like, what are best practices to try to de-escalate, to try to keep more folks from being radicalized, whether it's this gentleman here or the crazy guy that shot Steve Scalise?
Yeah, so the government's been looking at this problem for a number of years. There's been a number of recommendations put forward, but none have really been put into practice. One of them is counter-messaging, going out there and when someone's, you know, embracing a conspiracy theory that's totally untrue, to challenge that and to show, you know, the counterpoints to that and how that belief system isn't, you know, plausible or logical. So that was one thing, but the emphasis of this administration, as well as the previous administration, is to put resources and training faith-based leaders in the Muslim community to try to identify those who may have more radical views and to report those people to the FBI so that they could be monitored. So
is that a program that now we should be considering more than just in Muslim communities and worrying about international terrorism?
Right, and so we come to 2017, and we're starting to realize that we need to have some of these, you know, federal dollars go to organizations to combat the non-Islamic extremists here in the United States. And we actually had one organization called Life After Hate that was supposed to get a federal grant of several $100,000. This organization are actually people who have left the white nationalist movement and realized all of the deception and all of the falsehoods that were in that movement. And so they set up an organization, Life After Hate, hoping to reach out to those disaffected white nationalists who are on the fence or may have vulnerabilities to pull them out of the movement. And the funding was pulled in 2017 by this administration.
This issue